Christy Michael of Long Long Honeymoon. Today we've got yet another nitty-gritty RV camping topic.
A powerful topic.
That's right. We're talking about generators. Just last week we received a question from a helpful YouTube viewer saying, hey guys, do you still own your generator? So the purpose of this video is to talk about whether you want to purchase a generator, and if you do, what kind of generator or generators should you buy? We get so many questions about generators. We've set up a special site, rvgenset.com, that has all of our generator content in one place, including specific product recommendations and reviews. We bought our own generator online, so perhaps you will choose to do the same. First of all, let me explain our frame of reference. We have a 25-foot Airstream travel trailer. It's not the biggest rig you can buy, but it's not the smallest either. Our needs are fairly typical when it comes to power. Our rig is equipped with 2 deep cycle batteries. We use those batteries for minor power tasks like powering light bulbs, exhaust fans, things of that nature. But you know, we like television sets and coffee makers.
And hair dryers. And air conditioners.
So that's why you get a generator. You can bring these niceties of life out to your campsite and have literally all the comforts of home. Generator is a game-changing piece of equipment.
Yes, it is. It gives you a lot of freedom that you otherwise would not have.
Some people choose other power supply sources like solar.
What about solar?
That's right. I heard you.
Somebody was going to say it, so.
Solar's great. And in fact, in a future video, maybe we'll talk more about solar. When we were trying to solve the power issue several years ago, generator simply made the most sense for us. It was the fastest, simplest, easiest solution to our power needs.
Put some gas in it, hook up your camper, and crank it. You're done. There's no installation process. There's no going to a special dealership to have it installed. It's literally just grab and go.
If you're buying a generator for camping, get an inverter generator that's meant for camping. Don't get a construction site type of generator, because those things, although they are cheap and produce a lot of power, are incredibly loud, and they will spoil the ambiance of a campground in short order.
Yes, we've actually experienced this in a couple of national parks where we've been in the generator loop of a campground, and someone will fire up the old construction site generator and pretty much scare off any animal within like a 5-mile radius. It's terrible. People will hate you, you will make enemies. There's no need to be that guy.
So inverter generators are the way to go. They also, by the way, produce clean sine wave energy that is safe for all of those little portable electronic devices you take with you camping. You know, even though you can get generators that produce like 1,000 watts of power, if you get them, you're not going to be able to fire up a microwave oven, for example, or probably her hair dryer.
Right, or an air conditioner. Just not going to happen.
So for most of us, the decision comes down to 2,000 watt or 3,000 watt. So let's talk about the 2,000 watt models for a minute. First of all, they produce enough power to power most appliances. That means microwave ovens, television sets, hair dryers, that sort of thing. What a 2,000 watt generator will not power, for the most part, is your air conditioning unit. So what can you do with a 2,000 watt generator? Well, you can buy 2 of them, and you can link them together with what is called a parallel cable. And suddenly, even my math challenged brain can figure out 2,000 plus 2,000 is 4,000. That's plenty of power to power an air conditioning unit. Advantages of the 2,000 watt generators: they are smaller, they are lighter.
They weigh about 45 pounds, so most of us can pick up something that weighs 45 pounds and move it around if we need to.
They're certainly cheaper if you look at it from a wattage standpoint. You can buy 2 of the 2,000 watt units usually for less money than 1 of the 3,000 watt units, the larger ones.
So why would you buy a 3,000 watt unit?
What kind of fools buy 3,000 watt generators instead of two? Oh wait, that's what we did. The key advantage of our 3,000 watt generator is the larger units can power an air conditioning unit. So you only need one of the 3,000 watt units.
Right.
If you get the 2,000 watt units, you're going to have to buy two of them. Two generators means two oil changes. It means you're
Two air filters.
fueling twice as often.
It means more noise. Most inverter generators put out, what, 60 decibels? So instead of having one little machine with 60 decibels, you're going to have two little machines putting out 60 decibels.
There's additional complexity with the two generator approach, and then you have to have that parallel cable attached. And, well, it's just one other thing to go wrong and to fiddle around with when you're out camping.
And it's easier for someone to steal the 2,000 watt generators just because they do weigh less and they're easier to carry. But positives of the 2,000 watt generators, if one of them dies, you've got another one there. So it's sort of like having a little backup.
Another benefit of the 2,000 watt units, if you're camping at a time of year you know you don't need air conditioning.
Hello, January.
Leave one at home and just use one unit when you need it. So why did we choose a 3,000 watt unit? Well, one generator means
one motor to maintain.
one thing to maintain.
Yeah.
And it's just enough to power our air conditioning unit. And actually, the added weight and bulk of the generator can be an advantage. It's much more difficult to steal.
Yeah, nobody's going to be lifting that 150-pound bad boy out of the bed of our truck without us noticing.
So for us, the 3,000 watt unit covered our needs, and it was the simplest solution. And really, from a price standpoint, it's kind of a wash.
And it matches our awnings.
Our generator made the wife very happy because it kept the color scheme consistent.
That's right.
And we all
I like
know
blue.
that is crucially important when you're RV camping.
It looks so cute.
The two leading brands in generators when it comes to RV camping are Honda and Yamaha. They are far and away the leaders in this field. They have the best reputation for producing the best designed, highest quality equipment.
Been around the longest. They have the most service centers, the most dealerships.
Unfortunately, quality doesn't come cheap. Honda and Yamaha are significantly more expensive than their competitors. Who are the competitors? Honeywell, Westinghouse, Hyundai, believe it or not. I'm hearing some good things about Champion generators, and there are a number of sort of Chinese knockoff brands. Sometimes the knockoffs don't include all the features of the Honda and Yamaha generators. For example, our generator has a turnkey electric start, which is a very nice feature. Some of these cheaper generators only have the good old-fashioned lawnmower pull start. You know, when it comes to the off-brand generators, it's kind of like that old Clint Eastwood line from the Dirty Harry movie. Do you feel lucky, punk? Because if you're lucky, I guess you might get a good unit.
Or it dies after a year and you're crying when you have to go buy a new one.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes buying a cheaper piece of equipment can actually be more expensive in the long run, especially if you are not well equipped to open up the motor yourself and do some service work.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a particularly handy person and are good with a set of tools and are comfortable opening up a generator, a small engine, and you can do that kind of repair yourself, then it might make good sense to get one of these cheaper generators and just do the repair work yourself when you need to. As the old song says, everything dies, baby, that's a fact. But maybe everything that dies someday comes back.
So if you're handy with tools, you might be able to bring it back to life.
Or is there a great small engine mechanic
Yes.
that you would feel comfortable bringing a generator to who could repair it at a reasonable price? Because everything dies, baby, that's a fact.
That's right. So, you know, take that into account when you're doing your shopping for sure.
Now, we happen to own a Yamaha, so you might think that we are flag-waving Yamaha fanboys. Not so. It really doesn't matter to us whether you buy a generator or not, or whether you buy a Honda, Yamaha, or Made in China Special.
Pick what's best for you. You know, you're the one that's going to have to deal with it every day. You make the choice.
Right, and I will admit, I've been tempted by some of these lower cost generators because sometimes the cost is half of a Honda or Yamaha. The thing you get I think, with buying a Honda or Yamaha unit is peace of mind, because for the most part, you're going to get a quality piece of equipment that at least is going to provide good service during the warranty period. And if it doesn't, then it's under warranty and there's a good service network that will stand behind the product. Whereas some of these other off-brand generators have no service network. It will be very difficult, if not impossible, to find parts for them. And when they die,
You're just on your own.
You're on your own. I'm absolutely comfortable recommending Honda and Yamaha products. And sometimes they're actually cheaper. You pay a little more up front for the quality product and you'll have a much more enjoyable experience and it'll last longer. I mentioned that we have the EF3000i SEB model, which is quite a mouthful. The B stands for boost, and what our generator will do is provide an additional boost of about 500 watts of power output when needed for about 10 seconds. What does this mean? It means when we're powering up our air conditioner that it kicks out a little extra power. Then that's better for the air conditioner, because when those air conditioners start, the compressors really demand a lot of power. And another nice feature that our generator has is an economy mode. And the economy mode will modulate the power output depending on demand. In other words, if the hairdryer is flipped on, it revs up, but when the hairdryer goes off, it revs back down.
Yeah.
And our generator actually gets wonderful fuel economy. They claim that at the lowest demand setting, you get about 19 hours off 2.5 gallons of gas, something like that.
Pretty good.
So it really is remarkably fuel efficient.
Just to give you a little information on our ownership experience, we bought our Yamaha generator in April of 2007. It worked perfectly fine for about 5.5 or 6 years. And then one day we went to crank it and it just wouldn't do anything. So we called a local Yamaha dealership that did servicing, and we took it into them, and they called us a couple of days later to come and get it. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, and they gave it back to us in pieces. And then they charged $150.
Well, part of the problem was they didn't know what was wrong with the generator. It was going to cost several $100s to get in there and even make a diagnosis for what was wrong.
Yeah.
And then it might cost an additional several $100s to repair what was wrong. So in other words, it was kind of like, was the generator totaled or not? And we had really a less than glowingly positive experience with that dealership.
But the good news is we brought the generator home. We called my dad, Harry. He can fix just about anything. And he basically looked at the generator, took it apart, and he found that there was a piece of broken weld that had gotten caught in the head of the motor, and that was what was causing the problem. So he went in and removed that and sort of cleaned things up in there and put it all back together and cranked it, and it's been fine ever since.
Crank her up. I want to hear her run.
All right. You're a genius.
Now, in Yamaha's defense, at the time that we had the issue with our unit, it was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old and well beyond the 3-year warranty period.
No longer under warranty.
So, looking back on our generator ownership experience, lessons learned. Would I get the same brand and model? Yes, I'd say I probably would. For us, the 3,000 watt unit has worked out pretty well. I like the simplicity of having one unit.
Overall, it's been a good, piece of equipment.
What would I do differently? Well, I would get a cover for the generator from day one, because I didn't do that. We keep our generator in the bed of our pickup, locked and chained down, and we use it on a moment's notice, and I wasn't quite sure how the cover would integrate with the locks and chains we have on it. But if I could go back in time, I would get the cover. That will protect the unit from the ravages of weather. You don't have to get the fancy manufacturer cover. In fact, you're probably better off getting a plain generic cover because it's not emblazoned with a Honda or Yamaha logo that is basically a big red flag for thieves.
Saying, steal me, steal me.
If you have a 30 amp rig, get a 30 amp adapter plug. Now it does depend upon the generator. Many of these generators, including our Yamaha, do not have a direct 30 amp plug for your RV plug. They don't have an RV outlet, which is kind of crazy because they're selling these things to RV campers and they didn't think to put an
Maybe
RV
one day.
receptacle. So what you do is you get one of these things. You can get them for about 10 bucks online. Check out rvgenset.com. If you need it, that's the place to get it because they're a lot more expensive in stores than they are to purchase online.
It's because these are hard to find. You're not going to find this at Walmart. You're going to have to go to like a really super specialty store, you know, or you're going to have to order it online. So
now some generators do have an RV outlet built into the side of the unit, and hopefully yours does and you won't need this, but if it doesn't, you gotta have this. Yeah. Get a quality extension cord. My all-time favorite extension cord is our RV 30 amp extension cord. It's awesome.
It makes things so much easier when you're connecting up because basically you're gonna go ahead and plug that into your generator and leave the other end that plugs into your camper sort of near the edge of the bed of your truck. So instead of having to crawl over into your bed of your truck to plug in your RV, you just grab the little extension cord end and you're good to go.
I'm telling you, our extension cord is a work of art. I mean, it is like
really cool.
Super thick, high quality construction. It's got lights at each end, so when we're getting power, it lights up. Always keep your generator locked and chained down anytime it's visible to the public because these are expensive pieces of equipment. And one other product we want to tell you about is a magnetic dipstick. Now, if I had known about the magnetic dipstick several years ago, I would have had it on our generator from day one. What, pray tell, is a magnetic dipstick? Well, it's basically a dipstick that you screw into your generator that puts a super magnet inside the oil reservoir. So if there are any little bits of metal shavings inside the dirty oil in your generator, they will stick to that dipstick. So when you pull the dipstick out, you're pulling that metal out. That metal is not whipping around inside your motor, tearing it up and destroying it over time. So a magnetic dipstick is something that can actually, in theory, promote the longevity of your generator. There are maybe other solutions out there for other people, but for a lot of people, a good old-fashioned, politically incorrect fossil fuel burning generator makes the most sense. And we hope this video has helped you. If you want to browse reviews or go in there and buy your own generator, you can check out rvgenset.com, where you'll find all of our generator content in one place, including all the products we've discussed in this video. And by the way, if you like our videos about RV camping, a great way to say thank you would be to purchase your generator through one of our links.
Also, if you would subscribe to our channel, that would be wonderful. We would love you for it. Please subscribe. It makes a world of difference. It lets us know that there are people out there that want to see content from us, that are interested in what we have to say. We appreciate positive comments. We try to put positivity out there, so we try to keep things fun and light and upbeat, and encourage you to get out there and see America in your RV and enjoy everything that this great country has to offer.
Happy camping and lo-lo-ho
Aloha.
to you all.
Bye.
If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a thumbs down. Feel free to leave a comment. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.
So yeah, our generator is named Franklin, because you have to name all of these inanimate objects, don't you?
That's right. Seymour, Liv, Franklin.
What's our sewer hose named? Okay, sorry. Moving on.